just when you think to yourself that, they can't go much lower in comics, they can't destroy more characters. You get these little tidbits coming out showing that they literally wanted to go straight through the ground and just keep going down, destroying any and everything to ever have anything to do with comics. That's the entire plan right there. Now, when I first heard this, I honestly thought it was some kind of joke, really. I thought it was like some nonsense somebody put up online, but this is 2023. There are people out there determined to burn the comic book industry to the ground and everything along with it. So whenever you hear these things, it's never just a joke. Because there are mentally ill people out there who have been allowed to believe that they are doing groundbreaking things when they should be getting professional help. But that's what's going on. So Magdalene Visaggio, who's a transgender, well, basically who's a man and transgender into woman, whatever the hell they want to call it, I really don't know, it's confusing, came up with this ridiculous pitch where apparently this is the shocking part, that DC didn't go along with it, which is shocking because DC and Marvel pretty much put any crap out there anymore. Well, Mags had this pitch where it is Mags wanted to turn Connie Kent, Superboy, into a transgender woman. Yeah, that's it. Now let me just make a quick disclaimer here. Please do not go and harass Mags Visaggio on Twitter or anything like that. They're entitled to their opinion. That's their business. Please do not go and do that. But let's just take a look at this is Mags Visaggio here, right? Transgender man as usual. The thing is that Mags Visaggio came to some acclaim a few years ago when they had this, I think it's Vagrant Queen or Garbage Queen, some kind of book that it is that, but it did not work with Vagrant Queen, right? It did not work, right? It did not work. Tried to push it like it was something, did not work. Bombed hard. Since then, have not been able to get any kind of work. Nobody is interested. All Mags Visaggio goes out there and do is try and push gender identity and try to make it seem like, since I'm a transgender woman, everybody's against me and all kind of thing. And basically has resorted to now e-begging, because just the other day was on Twitter, which is now X, but still I say Twitter, begging people to fund some GoFundMe thing that Mags have because, have no money. If you stop doing this nonsense and actually go and work, you won't have this problem. But no, this is what you're doing, because again, like I say, these people have been led into this false narrative of believing that they could push their identity politics crap onto everything and then act like, this is somehow the greatest thing since sliced bread and they should be allowed to do this. No, it's not. All you're doing is telling on yourself. So let's get into this article, because apparently Max put all this thing on Twitter and bleeding cool at it. Yeah, bleeding cool. The DC Comics pitch that saw Connie Kent Superboy as a trans woman. Magdalene Visaggio posted to social media and that's a thing here, DC Superboy pitch that would have portrayed Connie Kent as a trans woman. Yeah. This is how Mag starts off. Since it's never going to happen, yes, I was going to make Connie Kent a trans girl. I give you Skyrocket, my master plan for a story that will never happen. And just in case you were wondering, this is Mags's version of transgender Superboy, because that's not supposed to creep anybody out. I want to go through pieces of this. I'm not going through the whole damn thing because that's just, All right. they wanted to rename the character Connie Kent. Yeah. So this is what Tadov saying. The whole dynamic I've been describing in this document is one of struggle to secure a sense of self, and it's just incredibly trans. His story is one of failure upon failure. He tried to be Superman and that didn't take. He tried to make a new life in Hawaii and that didn't take. He's founded multiple super teams that crashed and burned. Oh, that's not exactly true, but okay. He's had identity crisis revolving around his origins before. Well, he is a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. If that's not grounds for an identity crisis, I don't know what is. Okay. But none of which led to meaningful, lasting change, all the while dealing with perpetual rage problems so common to closeted trans women. Now, this is where the problem starts. The problem starts from the minute we even decided to pitch this nonsense. You understand? The minute we even decided to pitch this nonsense, this is where the problem starts. But this is why these things keep happening. These people tell on themselves so much that it's not even funny. It's really not even funny. From everything that they do, you can tell that not only do they not respect or care about these characters, they openly despise them and only want to change them into what they want. That's all. This entire thing would never work. It's a ridiculous, stupid idea. But you're already starting off here saying that, struggle to secure a sense of self, and it's just incredibly trans. You're basically trying to put yourself in there as Superboy. That's what you want, because you're picking and choosing certain things that you are saying match up to this. It doesn't. Nothing in Superboy's past, nothing in Connie Kent's past has anything to do with any kind of trans struggle. But no, that's all you're seeing because that's what you want to see. You don't give a rat's behind about this character who has been developed, who has grown, who has had stories about them, all these sort of things. You're talking about he's had an identity crisis revolving around his origins before. He's a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. That is an identity crisis in itself. He's a clone of the greatest superhero in the world and the most diabolical criminal mastermind to exist. That's the point of the struggle. You understand me? That's the point of the struggle. It has nothing to do with any closeted trans garbage. But no, this is what you insist on putting because you cannot separate yourself from any kind of crap at all. Goes on. Connie always reverts to the mean. Connie found out she's a Luthor, and the most that came of it was she shaved. You know what? I ain't going through all of this. I really ain't going through. Let's get to the parts that I want to talk about. Let's get to the parts I want to talk about here. This is right. From a visual standpoint, Connor's transitioning would break up with the guy with short black hair monotony of the Superman fam. And seriously, the Super fam already has 3 Supermen. What does Connor offer if he's just another copy? Connor's relationship with Superman would change. His relationship with the Kents would change. Everything would change, and Connie would at least mean more than just a failed legacy clone. And look, Connor already dresses like a lesbian, the leather jacket, the sidebars come on. Okay, so now apparently, if you wear a leather jacket and have a cool haircut, because that was Connie Kent's whole thing when he came around, was Connie Kent's whole thing. He was cool. That was his driving force. He was cool. That was it. The leather jacket, the whole thing that he would say, the whole stuff that he would do, Connie Kent was cool. That was his whole thing. You understand me? You will see it in certain things that would happen where he would, like in this one here, where he would save this girl and he would say, don't worry, no way I'd let anyone kill a beautiful babe like you. Connie Kent's whole thing is that he was cool. This haircut with the sides cut off and thing and the earring and stuff and the leather jacket, that was his whole thing. He was like the cool 90s version of Superboy. That was it. He was cool. But no, according to Mags Visaggio, right? Because of that, Connor dresses like a lesbian because he has a leather jacket at the sidebars. That's it. So if you put on a leather jacket, suddenly you're a lesbian. Do you understand me? If you decide to give yourself a little buzz cut on the other, suddenly you're a lesbian. I mean, it's not surprising. These people try to pick and choose colors from the Spider-Man, at least Spider-Verse movie, and say that Spider-Gwen was trans because she was using these colors. It was absolute ridiculous nonsense. But here you have Mags Visaggio picking and choosing things to do this. Talking about that from a visual standpoint, colors, transitions, all that stuff. Nobody gives a shit about this. The reason Connie Kent was popular was because he was cool. He was a new introduction to a cool version of Superboy. And that's what people enjoyed, that's what people liked. The character started to evolve and grow over time before DC shit that up. But that's what I'm talking about. But you don't see that. You don't care to see that. All you see is your own version of what you could destroy. That's it. What you can destroy, that's all you need to see. You don't care about the history of this character. You don't care about what was put in to make this character so cool. No. You're only seeing your way to say that, oh, this character should be trans because they already had a leather jacket and a buzz cut. What the hell? All this is Mags Visaggio trying to self-insert to become Superboy. And it's pathetic. That's the only way to use it. It's absolutely pathetic. Then Mags goes on to make even more of a moron out of Mags' self. From a sales and editorial perspective, this has some major benefits. Why? Well, let's find out. First, it distinguishes Connor from the rest of the Superman family in a really big way. Second, it elevates him by offering a wide range of new stories to be told. No, it doesn't. Third, it refreshes him, putting him back in the spotlight while attracting a whole generation of new fans. Where is this whole generation of new fans? You know what? I'm going to go through and I'll break down this nonsense after. And lastly, it would sell like fire. It would be in the news. I don't think anyone has trans the pre-existing character, let alone one so tied to the deep mythos of the DCU. And while it's sure to excite controversy, it will be the only book anyone is talking about for like a month. Whatever your take on this, okay, let me go through this nonsense and break it down. I have to go through this. I'll go through each one that Mags list here, right? Hopefully, I could get through this without laughing. First, it distinguishes Connor from the rest of the Superman family in a really big way. Connor is already distinguished from the rest of the Superman family in a really big way because one, he's a clone. Two, he's a clone of Superman and Superboy. Three, he never had to start, he never had this kind of big thing. He had to start and grow and develop as a character. That was his whole thing. He had to struggle, he had to grow. So he's already been distinguished from the rest of the Superman family. There you go. Second, it elevates him by offering a wide range of new stories to be told. What new stories are you going to tell? How Connor Kent decided to transition into Connie? What bra is he going to wear? Should he go and pick up a maxi pad this week or wait after? What stories are you going to tell? Every time any of these comic book lunatics, and I'm not going to say writers, these lunatics, decide to change the sexuality of these characters in some way or another, or whatever the hell they're planning to do, all the stories ever come about is pushing that one narrative. We've seen it time and time again. They tell nothing else. They don't develop these characters because they can't. All they want to do is change this character into them and tell their ridiculous stories that nobody cares about through this character. And when everybody doesn't love it, accuse them of being homophobes, transphobes, whatever. That's it. Third, it refreshes him, putting him back in the spotlight while attracting a whole generation of new fans. Who are these new fans? If these new fans that you keep talking about actually existed, comic book industry would not be in the gutter where it is today. Nobody's reading this shit. Look at what they did with Superman's son, John. They decided out of nowhere to just make him gay, and I'm not saying bisexual because we all know he's never going to touch a woman again. They decided to make him gay. Everybody bought the book that put that out so they could own the book that DC used to shoot themselves in the foot. And then the sales died. The sales weren't good to begin with. And then it just died. Nobody likes that character. Nobody's interested in it. Look at every character that they have changed and how these sales have just died on that character. John Kent, sales died. Tim Drake, sales died. Bobby Drake, Iceman, sales died. That's all you're doing. Every time you do this shit, the sales die because nobody cares about this crap. Everybody's seeing exactly what you're doing and they're walking away from it because they don't want to be a part of this. So don't talk about you're going to be attracting a whole new generation of new fans. No, nobody wants to read it. And lastly, it would sell like fire. People might buy the book that you decide to do it in because, again, they will want to own the book that DC used to shoot themselves in the other foot with. That's why they will buy it. Because they will say to themselves, you know what? 10 years down the road, this might be worth about $100 maybe. That's why they would buy it. And then Mag shows exactly the kind of mindset that these morons have. It would be in the news. Just like when Jonathan Kent went over to the queer side. I don't think anyone has trans their pre-existing character before. Yes, because God forbid you create a new character, but no, you do not have the talent to do that. So no. Let alone one so tied in the deep mythos of the DCU. And while it's sure to excite controversy, it will be the only book anyone is talking about for like a month. That is it, you know. The only book people are talking about like for a month, not long term. Not, hey, you know, this Superboy comic is really good this month, and the following month is getting even better. I can't wait to see what's going on, you know. No. You just want a month of controversy talk. That's it. You don't care about actually doing anything that's good. It's going to keep elevating the character and making it better. No. All you want is just a month of this garbage, and you're perfectly happy to go. That is it. That is it. Go on about some other nonsense here about, you know, trans kids are finding the access and all kind of nonsense and how Connie Kent will be called a skyrocket, and, you know, it's really, really freaking ridiculous, to be perfectly honest with you. It really is. It's really, really ridiculous, and this continues to show just how badly this whole thing keep going along, and how they don't seem to have the slightest freaking clue what they're doing at all. But there's no denying this simple fact. No denying this simple fact. This entire exercise, this entire nonsense was just yet another attempt to do this crap that they've been doing with every superhero that they could put their hands on. I did a video recently where some of them were talking, some of these so-called comic book writers were literally bragging about queering up comics, and that nobody could stop them because they could do whatever the hell they want. They were perfectly happy to do that. Okay, that's your business. If you choose to do that, I am not going to tell you anything about it. That's your problem. That's your business to do as you damn well please. But do not come and expect that people are going to be wasting their time to read this nonsense, because I can assure you that ain't going to be happening. That's not going to be happening. This was yet another attempt to embarrass the comic book industry by Max Visaggio that failed miserably. So Max put out a pitch that was even Max knew was never going to happen about transgender Superboy. Good for them. At the end of the day, this is just more to add to the shelf of all the crap that they continue to do and damage the comic book industry. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.